James Buckley is the Director of Business Development over at Cirrus Insights, and here are his 5 steps to thriving in sales.
This is always a point of contention for anyone that's just now starting in sales, and even some people that have been in sales for a long time, but not necessarily adopted the tech side of sales. That's a whole different genre of sales to learn, right? There's that traditional face-to-face stuff. A lot of older guys do that. I do it too. I like to consider myself, new school tech for the old school sales rep, or old school tech for the new school sales rep. But at the same time, there's something to be said for the fact that when you're deciding what kind of content to build, you got to just make sure you're comfortable with it. If you're uncomfortable writing, maybe go take some writing classes and learn how to write, read more. I know recently you've had Morgan J. Ingram on your show. That guy is a hero of mine. I look up to him tremendously. And for a while, I really wanted to do an SDR-based show on YouTube and Facebook and all these things. And then as I'm putting these things together and I'm doing rehearsals and I'm thinking to myself, recording things, I'm like, this is not me. This is Morgan that I'm trying to be. And I brought that up when I went on his show, the SDR Chronicles. I don't want to be Morgan J. Ingram. I need to be James Buckley. So James Buckley is a strong writer, and I know that. So I started out with just articles. And before I knew it, it was a lot of traffic via my articles, people commenting, people saying, this is a great article, James. This is really helpful. I shared this with my team. All those people just became prospects for me. Hey, man, thanks so much for checking out my article. I appreciate the comment. What do you guys use to integrate Salesforce with your inbox, which is the product that I sell, the service that I sell, outside of selling myself? I would say don't aim for traffic. You're never going to be able to control what people view online. That's something you can't control. What you can control is the quality of the work that you do and the quality of value that you deliver to your network from your perspective. Before you can present a product to sell to somebody, you're the value. It doesn't matter what you're selling. Before you have that opportunity, you're the value. So I would say don't shoot for views. There's no magic number. I have done great articles that I thought were just so insightful. And then I give them to the team, and the team is like, this is amazing. I can't wait to see the reaction on LinkedIn. And yeah, you get like 30 views. You get like 10 comments. You get a couple thumbs up, likes. They're great. And they make us feel good. But then you have a template idea that you think is hilarious, and you just do a post, right? There's no article. There's no images. There's no video or audio. It's just like, hey, what do you think of this template? Ha, ha, ha. Laugh of the day, right? 219,000 views later, you're like, how is this viral? I don't understand this. People are sharing it as, I had one guy that hit me back after I posted a template idea that I thought was hilarious. He hit me back 2 hours after I posted it, and he was like, I've been the genuine recipient of this email 3 times today. And that's amazing, right? And at one point you're like, hey, stop stealing my shit, right? You're like, don't post that as if you wrote it. I wrote it. And then it's kind of flattering, right? Like mockery is the best form of flattery. If somebody's imitating you, then you're doing something right. You're providing them value. So don't shoot for the views or the looks, because you can't control that. But you can control the quality and the value that you deliver every single time you step out onto that front porch to be seen by the world on social. So I won't lie, I spend a lot of time writing my articles, but I've found that as long as I'm writing quality and value, people are engaging with me. And if you're engaging with me, that's my opportunity to sell you something. We spend so much time sitting back waiting for marketing to provide us with leads that we can reach out to. We spend so much time sitting back waiting for a trial start to happen so that we can schedule a demo, hoping that this person might get back to us. But if I've had 6 articles go out and you've read every single one of them and you've commented and reached out to me saying that my content provides great value for your sales team, then when I reach out and say, hey, I've got a couple questions for your workflow, I'd love to connect, the response should be, yeah, I'd love to connect with you. You provide great value. This is amazing. I've had many, many conversations that have started out being centered on my workflows, how I get leads into my pipeline, how I manage my pipeline, and they wind up being about Salesforce and inbox integration, because no doubt eventually somebody's gonna be like, so what do you actually sell, right? A lot of sales leaders will reach out to me and talk about their team and how they're structured and be like, what do you think? And it's always great to have those conversations, not because they lead to an opportunity for me to sell something, but because you're providing value to a potential long-term customer there. When they're ready, they're going to buy. I tell people all the time, don't sell your product. Your product will sell itself thanks to your brand, right? So they'll come to you and they'll ask you a couple questions. You have a couple calls with them. You talk to them about their sales team, their sales process. And they talk to you like they know you for years. They've been watching you for 6 weeks now. They've been seeing all your controversial minutes, reading all your articles, sharing them with their team. They know you, but you know nothing about them, like you said. So the best thing for me to do is just be brutally honest. I'm honest to a fault. I don't really care how you feel. Sales is not the place for feelings. It's more of a place for honesty and what's valuable to you. And I feel like if you wear that on your sleeve, people really respect it. So it's great for me to be able to say things like, really glad you like my content. If I'm being honest here, I have to know a little bit more about your background and your process and where you guys came from. I know you've been watching me for a while, but it's tough for me because I have 5,782 followers, right? I don't know which one of those, that big number you are. And that's tough for people to hear, right? Because they feel like they're not valued in that moment. But if they're calling you and they're wanting your help, then they're going to understand the fact that you're going to need more information to be able to provide them with good content. Sometimes I'm quick to be like, this is interesting. I have a couple people I can talk to about this. Let me schedule a task to get back to you in a week. And I'll talk to some other pros that we have here in the office that, my director of sales, my CEO, my COO, and ask them and then get back to my person that called back to me. You don't have to have all the answers, but you have to have all the value. I've never claimed to be an expert in anything. A lot of my peers, especially here at Cirrus, will come to me and say, well, I thought I talked to you because you're the expert. And I'm like, look, I'm just me, right? But I feel like I can learn something from everybody that's in my network. There's someone out there that has had this experience or that experience and can offer me some feedback in what worked for them. And maybe it's not the way I would go, but at least I've got that perspective now. And maybe it's a perspective I didn't have before. At any rate, no matter what we're discussing, that's valuable to me. If I'm looking at it through your eyes, then I'm looking at it through your title's eyes, your experience eyes, all of the things that you've gone through with whatever that discussion might be in my article. So yeah, I don't assert myself as a professional or a expert in any field at all, but I do assert the fact that I have these thoughts. And the network of leaders that I have out there and the people that do sales every day, just like me, those people can provide feedback that may lead me in a direction to be more valuable to a customer that I'm working with. That in itself is more valuable than any secret template that somebody might offer me, which is, I think those are valuable too. I like getting template ideas because I say, well, what about this? And then they go, oh, I didn't think of that. A lot of times people fall into this terrible trap of feeling like they have to answer all the questions. I have to be the person with all the answers. Well, if you're doing free trials or trying to set up a demo, why would that person do that? If you've given them everything that you could possibly, there has to be an element of mystery there so that they go, oh yeah, I do want to see it, in fact, or yeah, I'd love to try it, right? But we fall into that trap and we say, I have all the answers. I'm an expert. You want to talk to me. I know everything, right? And what that customer hears is bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Right. So I do kind of find value in leaving open-ended questions. I'll post things online that talk about my past experience and my past jobs. Just recently, I had a good one where I said that I lost a lot of jobs before I realized that it was me that was the problem. I had to change if I wanted to find success. And I think that one went crazy. A couple hours, it had like 1,000 views on it and a few comments. But it's not about the comments or the likes or the views or anything. It's just about being really honest with your network so that when they're looking for somebody to give them feedback, they know they can count on you to be upfront with them, be honest with them.
Hey, hope you enjoyed that one. Click up here to watch another 5 Steps to Thrive in Sales video. Click down here to watch the full interview where all these clips came from.